welcome you back to another episode of Jedi Learning with Baba Kentu. Today, we will be going over how to use flashcards. Some people may be familiar with flashcards, but may not know the correct techniques in using flashcards to build fluency. What is fluency, you might ask? It is building a repertoire of correct answers in a short amount of time, so that you build automaticity, meaning that you don't have to think about an answer before you answer it. This helps you to do higher order mathematics without the burdensome task of trying to think and calculate every time you have to do any type of problem. Now remember, flashcards don't only have to be used with math, although they are mostly used with math. You can use them for vocabulary, you can use them for studying for any type of test that has any type of terminology. As long as there is some information to be remembered and used fluently, you can use a flashcard. Now you might be saying to yourself, Baba Kentu, I've been using flashcards since I was little. What can you teach me about using flashcards? And I will say, I can teach you a lot. A lot of us actually don't know how to use flashcards, as a matter of fact. We think you just pick up some cards, wait for somebody to say the answer, and you move on, right? You wait 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute. If they don't answer, you get mad at them, you whoop them, you slap them upside the head, you say, how you don't know this? This is old, this is easy stuff. Absolutely not. All the wrong ways to use flashcards. I'd rather give you the right way so that I can say yes. Telling people that the wrong does not teach them anything necessarily. We'd rather tell you what you did right.
Now let's get down to business.
Shall we? So you might be saying, what's the first step I take in this flashcard business? Well, the first thing you do is grab a flashcard. Now, always involve the learner in the development of the flashcards. That way they take ownership of the flashcard and it becomes something that you have developed together, not something that you have brought in and made them do. It's always a collaborative learning process. Everybody's learning together. Now, with that being said, let's, for example, say we are doing addition. Working on arithmetic, and I, as the Baba, the Mama, the teacher, write the problem on one side. Now what you do is you hand it to the learner to now answer the problem on the other side. Okay, so let's say you now have successfully developed a flashcard. Now you can do this for 1 to 5 minutes, whatever you think the learner's tolerance is, but it builds a collaborative process. Learning is collaborative. Now it's something that you have developed together and you both can implement. It's not something that you have brought in to make them do. Big difference. Step number 2. When implementing the flashcards, you always want to have a timer handy. And something I like to use is this little thing here. It's just one of these old simple timers, which has the red that when it's up, time's up. It doesn't do anything because there's no batteries. Time out. You get an audible sound. Now, you use the timer because you want to keep the environment as constant as possible so you compare past performance to current performance, which lets you know what to do in the future. Now, you have to make data-based decisions, which means you should be keeping data. Did they do 15 correct in a minute? 20 correct in a minute? Are you doing 2 minutes at a time? 3 minutes at a time? That's up to you and the tolerance of the learner. But the point is, you keep it constant so you can compare past performance to current performance. And in order to do so, you need to get a timer. Step number 3. And this is one of the most important steps, so listen up. You've developed your flashcards. You have your timer ready. You set it to 1 minute. I'm the Baba, you're the learner. Let's go. I'll pull out the first flashcard and begin immediately counting to 3 in my head silently. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. If you answer correctly before I get to 3 1000, I simply place it in the correct pile, which in this case is to the right, and I move on. If I hold it up and I count 1 1000, 2 1000, and you say the wrong answer before I get to 3 1000, I immediately show you the correct answer. I may even state the correct answer, place it in the wrong pile, and move on. Don't wait. Don't try to explain it to them. Don't say you should know this. Don't make them start crying, and now they're frustrated and they can't learn anymore, and now your whole flashcard setup is over with. That's not what you want.
2, 13, 6, 20, 10, 0, 6.
Time's up.
Now let's watch these two young men using the powerful Jedi learning flashcard technique.
0, 6, 20,
6, 16, 2, 8.
Step number 4. Count up your correct cards. 12. And your incorrect cards. 1, 2. And record the data. There you have it. 12 correct, 2 incorrect in this case. Step number 5. Reinforce for improved performance. If the learner improves their performance this time over previous times, or they beat their high score, please reinforce. If they go lower, or they do not meet up expectations of their previous high score, do not reinforce. Remember, learning occurs with or without words. You do not have to slap them upside the head because they didn't get them all correct. You don't have to berate them because they got 2 wrong that they should have known. All you have to do is simply reinforce or not. That's where the learning takes place, and that's what we call Jedi learning. So you might ask, well, what do I reinforce them with? Whatever they're motivated by. They like playing 5 minutes of video games? Let them play 5 minutes of video games. They like a certain type of food? Whip up their favorite meal. The point is, whatever they're motivated by, provide them with that as a form of reinforcement. We'll get into reinforcement in another episode of Jedi Learning. But until then, peace.